Starting this edition with a top story this hour, the government will be tabling the Waqf Amendment Bill in the Lok Sabha tomorrow amid strong opposition from other parties. The time allotted for discussion over the Waqf Bill is 8 hours. The BJP has already now issued a 3-line whip to its MPs to be present in the Lok Sabha tomorrow. Now with the numbers on the NDA side and all allies supporting the Waqf Amendment Bill, the bill is expected to be passed in the Lok Sabha tomorrow. In Lok Sabha, the NDA has 293 MPs. The BJP alone has 240 MPs. And the required majority is 272. Meanwhile, the India bloc floor leaders are meeting today at 6 p.m. to discuss their strategy on the Waqf Amendment Bill. Opposition MPs have reiterated that they will actively protest the tabling of the bill that aims to bring changes into the existing rules of the state Waqf boards. Well, Union Minister Kiren Rijiju has said today that if the House feels more time is needed for discussion, that the time could be extended based on the consensus of the members and the opposition may approach the chair. However, he's also warned that if the opposition chose not to participate, the government could not stop them from doing so. Listen in.
Before the committee that tomorrow on 2nd April, we are bringing the Waqf Amendment Bill. Some of the members wanted 4 hours. Some members wanted 6 hours. The opposition parties wanted 12 hours. So finally, there was an agreement that the total time to be allocated for discussion on Waqf Amendment Bill would be 8 hours. If some political parties are trying to create some excuse so that they can run away from the discussion, that would be unfortunate, because the nation wants to listen the points raised by various political parties.
बीजेपी एमपी गुलाम अली हमारे साथ हैं। सर, बीएसी में डिसाइड हुआ है लोकसभा में कि कल वक्फ अमेंडमेंट बिल को लाया जाएगा, 8 घंटे की चर्चा इस पर होगी, लेकिन विपक्ष की तरफ से लगातार कहा जा रहा है कि वो इसको अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मानते हैं और इसका विरोध लगातार करते रहेंगे।
वो ऐसे ही भय डालते हैं। उन्होंने अल्पसंख्यक समाज की कभी बात नहीं करी है। आज समाज पीछे है, बैकवर्ड है, तो इन्हीं की वजह से है। लेकिन मुस्लिम समाज अब चाहता है कि देश के वज़ीर-ए-आज़म नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जो विकसित भारत का टारगेट रखा है स्टार्टअप स्टैंडअप के जरिए, वो भी इसकी हिस्सेदार बने। ये चाहते हैं कि मुसलमान हमारा वोट बैंक बना रहे। वक्फ को कोई भी जेपीसी में इन्होंने कोई भी मुस्बत बात नहीं रखी है, अल्लाह गुल्ला करा है, और ये चाहते नहीं है कि मुसलमान मेन स्ट्रीम में आए, और उसमें अब ये भय फैलाते हैं, डर फैलाते हैं। मुसलमान को कोई डरने की जरूरत नहीं है। वक्फ इज ऑलवेज वक्फ, और ट्रांसपेरेंसी होगी, अकाउंटेबिलिटी होगी, और बेहतरीन इंस्टीट्यूशन वक्फ बनेगा नरेंद्र मोदी जी की रहनुमाई में।
The opposition parties have walked out in the middle of the BAC meeting in protest. Why? Because the government is simply bulldozing its agenda and not listening to the views of the opposition party. We have asked for a comprehensive discussion on the Waqf Amendment Act. Our views are not being listened to. We have asked for a proper time to be allocated for the resolution on the president's rule in Manipur. That we have not been, our advice is not being listened to. We have asked for an important discussion under Rule 193 for epic cards, voter epic cards, and the decisions to link it with Aadhaar. All opposition parties have demanded that.
मैं पूरा अपनी बात को रखेंगे दलील के साथ और बताएंगे कि कैसा ये बिल अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है, कैसा ये मुसलमानों के फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन की मुखालिफत करता है, कैसा ये मुसलमानों के चैरिटेबल रिलीजियस प्रैक्टिसेस से उनको महरूम करता है। ये हम कल बताएंगे। इमोशनल कनेक्ट है वक्फ का मैटर्स का मुस्लिम समाज से, क्योंकि ये हमारे लिए एक इबादत है। ये नमाज की तरह नहीं और इबादत है ये। अगर आप हमारी मस्जिदों को, दरगाहों को, जो अल्लाह के नाम पे प्रॉपर्टी वफ़ कर दी गई है, उससे अगर आप हमको महरूम कर रहे हैं, तो फिर जाहिर है ये तो हमारे लिए बड़ा इमोशनल और बड़ी तकलीफदेह बात रहेगी। तो ये समझ नहीं रहे हैं।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी का हर फैसला वोट के लिए, अपने लोगों को खुश करने के लिए। ये वक्फ बिल के खिलाफ समाजवादी पार्टी है, पहले भी थी, आगे भी रहेगी। जिस तरह के संशोधन भारतीय जनता पार्टी कर रही है वो पूरा कंट्रोल अपने पास चाहते हैं, जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव पावर है वो पूरा का पूरा अपने पास रखना चाहते हैं। इस देश ने वो समय भी देखा है कि जिस समय एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव गलत फैसले की वजह से भारत की जो संस्कृति रही, भाईचारा रहा, उसके खिलाफ खाई पैदा की है।
It is very, very unfortunate that the opposition parties have been sidelined continuously every BAC meeting. And today especially, when the opposition parties have been demanding to take discussions on important subjects like Home Ministry, Mandrega, education, and also when Waqf Board bill is coming, and also Epic Card bill is coming, we wanted to have a good discussion. And we also feel that the majority of our words are taken by the opposition, the ruling party, and the opposition party are not allowed to speak. We feel that, again, they are forcing their agenda on us, not listening to the opposition parties.
All right, so all NDA allies have supported the bill. And BJP also, we understand, has issued a 3-line whip to its MPs to be present in the Lok Sabha tomorrow when the bill is taken up for consideration and passage. My colleague Ishwarya Jain is also now joining us on the broadcast. He's been tracking all the developments on the ground. Ishwarya, of course, the NDA allies have supported the bill. But is the opposition going to be participating in the discussion? There have been murmurs that, of course, the opposition has voiced its concerns and resentment against the action being taken by the government, the bill being tabled tomorrow. But will the opposition be participating in the discussion tomorrow? There's a strategy meeting also, we understand, that has been called.
Well, Kitty, we are reporting from the Parliament since morning, and we've been speaking to different leaders from the NDA group. We've been told that today it was earlier, Sanjay Jha and Lalan Singh, both the JDU leaders who met Amit Shah and expressed their support to the Waqf Amendment Bill as well. It is all the NDA aligned partners who are now on board and in support of the government. As far as opposition parties are concerned, yes, they have stated that they would be opposing this bill. But certainly at 6 p.m., it is the opposition party meet which has been called in inside the Parliament complex, which Rahul Gandhi would be chairing, the leader of opposition from Lok Sabha, and they would be further strategizing on what is their stance, whether they would be participating in the discussion or will they be walking out. Certainly, it is many of the opposition leaders which we are speaking to have been stating that they want a discussion in the House and they want their voice to be raised as well as to how this government is bringing this Waqf Amendment Bill 2085, which is, according to them, unconstitutional and will also take away the rights of the minorities. Now, as far as this Waqf Amendment Bill is concerned, there are significant amendments that have been made to the Waqf Bill based on the recommendations of the Joint Parliamentary Committee under the leadership of Jagdambika Pal. It is the bill that would be tabled by Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju after the question hour, that is around 12 noon tomorrow. And it has suggestions from the allied partners, including JDU, TDP, that have been incorporated as well. Okay. The jurisdiction of the state government will remain intact. A few of the important points that have been mentioned, the bill copy has already been circulated amongst the MPs.
That the rights of the minorities will be taken away rather. On the other hand, we have the bill copy. NDTV has the Waqf bill copy, and it clearly says that the new bill aims to set up a committee, an officer of collector rank or above, who's going to be determining, the properties are going to be registered and who's going to be present when the properties are registered. This doesn't happen till now. This hasn't happened in years. And the Waqf, of course, arbitrarily has been taking away properties without any registration, but all that is going to be done. And the government says it's only going to empower the minorities. But on the other hand, the opposition has been towing a different line. All right, Ishwarya, I'll come back to you later. Spokesperson of the Congress party, Gautam Seth, and Professor Geeta Bhatt, political analyst, also now joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Gautam Seth, if I could come to you first. We understand now all allies of the NDA are on board. The Ajmer Dargah, the Kerala Church body are all supporting the Waqf bill. But what is the opposition's strategy going to be, and why is the opposition really against the bill?
You know, when the opposition is saying that this bill is aimed at disrupting the social harmony, it is something which is designed against the Constitution's principle of equality for all, of saying similar rights for all, irrespective of the religion. And I'll tell you that why are we saying so?
Yes.
There are flaws within the bill that we have pointed out, and we are speaking them out loud. It is basically a bill that is weakening the Waqf institutions. There are already Waqf institutions which are set up on the district and state level. So now this particular bill aims at weakening the power of those Waqf institutions. That is point number one. The point number two is it is redefining Waqf to restrict land donations. Now this is something that will really put the power of these Waqf institutions down and in a way take a kind of a targeted attempt to create disharmony amongst two religions.
The Waqf, when it wants, where it wants, how it wants, could take away any property in the name of Waqf. That is how it's going to weaken the Waqf.
No, absolutely not. But at the same time, you cannot just empower the officers who are being appointed by your governments and totally minimize the role of the Waqf institutions that have been
that's your government too. I mean, you are in the opposition. I understand you're a spokesperson of the opposition, but it's a government for all. Who else do you want to be appointed? If not a collector rank official, then who else should be appointed?
I hope you will let me complete and allow me to put my points through. In the parliament, of course, we are not being allowed to put our points through.
Go ahead.
But here, at least, we expect the media to allow us to put our points
We have been doing so.
And it is also
but I have to counter you where I have doubts.
No, of course, you question me, but first let me complete and then you can cross-question and I'll clear your doubts for sure. And of course, when I say that it is empowering the state officials, I mean that the state officials can now de-recognize Waqf lands after the implementation of this bill based on mere allegations without any proper legal proceedings. Now, this was not discussed point to point in the Joint Parliamentary Committee. It was bulldozed, and when we have now asked for point-to-point discussion, of course, I just heard that the Parliamentary Affairs Minister said that they have allocated 8 hours time. Much appreciated. We have asked for a 12 hours debate. However, we are going to have a strategy meeting in the leadership of Sri Rahul Gandhi with all the India Alliance partners, and we will discuss point by point. We will not let them encroach the rights of the minorities and create something that does disharmony amongst two religions. We will not let that happen.
Okay, how is that really happening, Professor Geeta Bhatt? Okay, let me go across to Professor Geeta Bhatt also. She wants to make a point there. Professor Geeta Bhatt, Gautam Seth here, spokesperson of the Congress, saying that it is not in the interest of the minorities. How so? What is your view?
Well, I think the amendment that has been sought and is going to be tabled by the JPC that was constituted to look into these amendments, it has gone through a very rigorous and in a most democratic manner. The hearings and the discussions have taken place. The report itself is more than 600 pages. There have been more than 112 hours of discussions that have taken place. There have been 282 dissent notes that were tabled, discussed, part of it incorporated. So in the most democratic manner and the manner in which all the JPC is constituted by the parliament, they work exactly in the same manner. This JPC also worked, and that bill is going to be tabled. And I think it is rather unfortunate on the part of the opposition to say that this is going to take away, the right of the minorities, because with these amendments, the government is just trying to bring forth transparency in the way this particular board has been working, and the way a board which is the third largest in terms of the amount of land that they own in the country, and a board which has been here and there, sometimes coming out saying that even the new parliament building is on the Waqf land. In Tamil Nadu, there are villages which are being claimed by the Waqf board that this land
absolutely, that's very much out in the open. Ma'am, I won't have much time. I'm sorry, I won't have much time. Gautam Seth, before I wrap this up, your last comment, please.
We have always welcomed anything that is aimed at progress, be it of the minorities, be it of the citizenry in general. But things which are aimed at suppression will certainly be questioned. And if Geeta ji wasn't a member of the Joint Parliamentary Committee, we had our MPs who were members who are saying that proper discussions did not take place in the JPC as they should have been done.
Okay. But we know a lot of time was given to the JPC also, and it had opposition party members also. You're now asking for a 12-hour, timeline for time period for tomorrow. Although the government is saying that the discussion will go on for 8 hours, but will the opposition be satisfied if 12 hours time is also given tomorrow? That of course remains to be seen. But I won't have much time. Thank you so much, Gautam Seth and Geeta. But I'm really very sorry I won't have much time on the broadcast here. This discussion, of course, will go on, and we'll keep an eye on the developments here on this big story that we're tracking.